Hello everyone and welcome back to Make Your Mind. This is the latest Subnautica-based sculpture showcase. Now, as you may have seen in some of my previous videos, I've done videos about all the leviathans, about all the predators and stuff like that. But I also made a video about, for the first game, I made a video about the Safe Shallows. And now this is going to be the Safe Shallows version for Below Zero. So this is going to be my Twisty Bridges sculpture showcase. And we're going to start off with the same one that we started off with in the first Safe Shallows, but with the Arctic version. And that version is this. The Arctic Peeper. Look at that. Got my voice squeaking and everything. I love the design, man. This one thing that Unknown Worlds has been doing with Below Zero is they've been giving their creatures a lot more color. My goodness. I had to use a lot of colors to make a bunch of these sculptures, especially with the purple and the blue up here along with the eye. And then the coloring around the beak as well with the gray beak. That just looks really, really cool. But this is just like a regular peeper. It's got the big eye and it's symmetrical on both sides for the most part. Although it has this coloration with the purple, with this little head bit under here and there. But this thing is, it's an even better looking version of the Peeper. So there's the first. And the next one is going to be a different creature, and that is a creature that can be found swimming around that is not only somewhat dangerous to the player, but is basically the Below Zero version of the Bleeder, which is the Symbiote. Change the eye real quick right there. There we go. Yeah, the Symbiote. This is a creature that actually defends its home, which is the Titan Holefish. Which that is going to be a sculpture showcase coming in the future, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But this is the creature that resides inside of the Titan Holefish and that swims around the Titan Holefish, defending it off from predators. It has this really powerful beak that is able to not only damage the player, but is also able to damage creatures much bigger than itself. It also swims at great speeds. And this is like a sort of, it's kind of like the Biter or like the Bleeder from the original Subnautica game. So there is the Symbiote. And now we'll move on to this one. This one is, God, this one has a lot of coloration, and this is the most unique by far out of all the creatures so far in this video. And that is this, the Brine Wing. This thing is crazy. As you can see, it swims around, and it loves to swim around underneath of the icebergs and the ice shelves. And it has this long beak that it actually opens up. It fills its body up with salt water, and then combines it with another chemical to make it super cold. And then it shoots the super cold salt water out of the front of its mouth. And it's pretty crazy, because when you're swimming along, all of a sudden your player will freeze in place and be frozen solid, and that's because of the Brine Wing. It opens its wings up and it shoots the super cold salt water out into the air, or excuse me, out into the water, and it can freeze you solid, and you have to literally break yourself out of the ice in order to keep from freezing to death. It's pretty crazy. The Brine Wing it looks innocent enough, but this thing is definitely not innocent, and I just love the colors. Look at that. I tried to replicate that as best as I could, but it just looks so crazy, this thing. And then that is the Brine Wing. And then what could best be described as the creature that is known for Below Zero. When you think Below Zero, this is probably the first creature that comes to your mind, because it resembles the terrain and the entire sort of biome of Sector Zero. And that creature is the one and only Pengwing. Look at this little thing. Here, let me move the eye up a little bit. There we go. Look at this thing, man. It's got 4 eyes. So when it's swimming along, it actually looks like this. It's got the 2 eyes, one on either side. Then it has the 2 smaller eyes on the bottom looking underneath. And when it swims around, it's basically the Below Zero version of the penguin. But I love the idea that they call it the Pengwing. I'm assuming, I don't know if this is true, Unknown Worlds, but Benedict Cumberbatch, he actually, you can look this up yourself, he did a commentary about penguins, And he kept mispronouncing them, calling them Pengwings, and I wonder if they took that name to call this the Pengwing off of Benedict Cumberbatch's mess-up. Which, if that's the case, holy crap, that's hilarious. But this thing has a huge beak right basically on the top of its head, and it literally walks around and looks just like that. And there's also a Pengling, a little version, a little baby version that it walks around in. But it has this tail in the back that has this sort of curled up, or it has this little like small swirl on it, and it has this blue and yellow and the pink. These are actually the nostrils that it breathes in and out of, and it has the eyes, the little claws down here for feet, and it sort of folds up and swims through below zero, actually eating creatures. Oops, sorry, hit the camera. It eats creatures like the hoopfish, the boomerang, and even the Arctic peepers. But, camera, come on, zoom back in. There you go. But yeah, this thing is, I mean, when you think below zero, this is the first creature that you think of as the Pengwing, isn't it? Because it just looks so unique to both 4546b and also to the sort of sub-zero biome that is Sector 0. But with that, those are the 4 creatures that I have debuted here on today's Twisty Bridges Showcase. Check those out. Those look so cool, man. I love Below Zero. I love the color palette, man. They made all of these creatures so much more colorful than even the regular Subnautica. My goodness. Especially with the Peeper. That thing just looks so cool. But once again, if you like videos like this, remember to leave a like down below, and remember to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss the next video. I've got plenty more of these Subnautica videos coming. There are so many creatures to cover and so many ideas that I have when it comes to the part of the game. So with that, thank you so much again for watching, and I will see you on the next Sculpture Showcase.